The sun is shining through the window. You can see the dust floating through the air, the cabin smelling like oak from the oak trees outside. A hand trails over someone else's hand. "Good morning, love," the husband says to his wife. "Good morning," the wife smiles at him, as she is rolling over in his arms. "What shall we do today?" "I don't know, there is not much we can do here since there is not any electricity." The husband looks outside from the bedroom window to see it snowing. "Hey, look, it is snowing outside." She looks toward the window to see that it is in fact snowing. She gets up from the bed to go to the window to get a closer look. She sees the trees covered in snow along with their car. "You are right," she turns toward her husband and gets back into the bed. "Why don't we go play in the snow?" "Why?" "Why not? As you said, there is not any electricity, meaning we cannot watch movies or listen to the radio. We have to actually use the fireplace to help us boil water so we can eat and clean ourselves. At least when we play it can pass the time." "You are right," the wife tells her husband after she thinks on it for a few minutes. She gets up from the bed to get dressed. "How about you go boil some water while I get dressed?" The husband throws the covers off of him and puts on his robe. He walks through the hall to the small kitchen, grabs the pot they use to boil water, and walks toward the living room. He sets the pot down to go to grab a couple of cut wood from the wood panel. He puts the wood in the fireplace, lights it with matches, then sets the pot on the spider to keep it in place. The wife comes into the room and walks toward her husband from behind. She wraps her arms around his waist to give him a hug. "Why don't you get dressed? I'll take care of this." "You sure? You go, I can take care of it." "All right." They kiss, then the husband goes through the hall, while his wife goes toward the kitchen to get 2 glasses and 2 bags of tea to put into their cup. She goes back to the fireplace, puts the cups down to fill the cups with hot water. She sits on the couch, puts the cups on the table that is in front of her to wrap the covers that is on the couch around her. She grabs the cup and blows on it to cool it down. As she drinks it, she looks around the cabin. It has a built-in fireplace to keep them warm, a small couch with a chair to sit in, plus candles to use for light when it is dark out. A table to use when they eat and kitchen supplies to use, so it is not too terrible here. "At least I can cuddle up to my husband for warmth," she thought with a smile. "What are you smiling about?" She jumps in fright. "God, you scared me." "Sorry," her husband says as he walks toward her with a smile. "Yeah, I bet you are." That smile says different. She rolls her eyes at him, which causes him to laugh. He sits beside her and wraps his arm around her shoulder to pull her close to him. "What had you lost in thought?" "Me being able to be in your arms for warmth." He smiles at her, looking into her gray eyes. "You don't have to use an excuse to be in my arms." "I know, but it still brings a smile to my face. Especially to put my cold feet on you." She smiles mischievously with a twinkle in her eye. "Oh, I see how it is, you're going to torture me." "Yep." "Okay," he nods his head with a thoughtful look in his face. The wife gets nervous because she knows anytime her husband has that look, he is up to something. She shrieks in surprise when her husband tackles her. He starts to tickle her sides. "Ha ha, stop, please, ha ha." "Nope, not till you say, you promise not to put your cold feet on me." "Never." "Okay, then I won't stop." Okay, I promise I won't put my cold feet on you." He stops and smiles. "I love you." "I love you too." She smiles at him. "Come on, let's go outside." He sits up and throws her over his shoulder. "Ah. Hades, put me down. You love it." She smiles, knowing it is true. Hades opens the door with his wife on his shoulder. They get outside, feeling the cold, wet air. Their breath fogging up from the cold. Bloody hell, it is freezing. Of course it is, Izzy, it is called snow. Snow is supposed to be cold. Smartass, she mumbled. Hades chuckled, then throws her over his shoulder into the snow. She shrieks, "Hades, you ass. You love me." She glares at him as he smiles cheekily. She smiles, knowing he is right. "Can you be the charming husband I love and help me?" He gives her that smile she fell in love with. "Of course I can, love," he said gently as he pulls her up. He wraps her arms around his neck, then pulls her close. Their foreheads touch, looking into each other's eyes, basking in the warmth their bodies give off. Hades thanking God for this gorgeous angel with dirty blonde hair and gray eyes, making the sun give her a beautiful glow. Her small frame giving him the feeling to protect her. Izzy in return thinking the same thing. Thanking God for this amazing man with captivating blue eyes. Black hair as dark as night. Making him look like a handsome, dark prince everyone tells you to stay away from. Yet, all she feels is safe with him. Maybe having no electricity would not be such a bad thing. Really? Really, she confirms. He smiles at her with joy. We can have a snowball fight, after that we can go back in, make hot chocolate and curl up by the fire for the rest of the day. I like the sound of that. So do I. They smile at each other. Always? She questions. Always, he confirms. Izzy lets her husband go and turns to look at the beautiful sunset. While she looks at the sunset, her husband walks up to her and puts a ball of snow on her head. Ah. Hades. He laughs, throwing his head back. I'm going to kill you for that. He starts running away from her as she chases him. For the rest of the day they threw snow at each other, laughing and pushing each other to make them fall in the snow. At the end of the day they went back inside, heated up the water to make hot chocolate and sat on the couch. They drank their hot chocolate when it was done and basked in the warmth, being content in each other's arms. Who knew having no electricity would make a great way to spend time with someone?